Conditional perfect tense. In this video, we will learn how to use the conditional perfect tense. The conditional perfect tense is used to talk about past situations that did not happen. For people who speak Spanish, se usa para hablar de situaciones pasadas que no se realizaron. The auxiliary or the combination of the conditional perfect tense is would have plus the past participle. Would have plus the past participle. When we pronounce very quickly, we say would have. Would have. Okay? And that translation is habría, habrías, habríamos, habría, depending on the subject that we use in English. For example, I would have gone, or I would have gone, habría ido. I would have traveled, habría viajado, or I would have traveled. I would have studied, habría estudiado, or I would have studied. Okay? It is important to use the contraction in conversation. Okay? This is very important. Now, let's go to the combination. We are going to combine the conditional perfect tense with the past perfect. The past perfect, which is constructed using had plus the past participle. And this, in the past perfect alone, we translate the had, había. But here, since we are going to use if, we are going to translate it using hubiera, o hubiera, hubieras, hubiera. But you have to use the if. Example, if I had studied, si yo hubiera estudiado. If you had worked, si tú hubieras o hubieses trabajado. If he had eaten, si él hubiera comido. Okay? We can also use the contraction of had like this, apostrophe D. Okay? For example, if I studied, si hubiera estudiado, if you'd worked, if you'd worked, if he'd eaten, si él hubiera comido. Okay, so now let's explain this. This combination of if plus had plus past participle plus would have plus past participle, we are going to obtain the third conditional. The third conditional. Okay? Now let's go to the conjugation of the conditional perfect. I would have spoken. Yo habría hablado. Contraction. I would have spoken. habría hablado. I wouldn't have spoken. Yo no habría hablado. I would not have spoken. Yo no habría hablado. Question. Would I have spoken? Would I have spoken? ¿Habría hablado yo? Wouldn't I have spoken? Wouldn't I have spoken? ¿No habría hablado yo? Etc. Because we can use with he, with she, with it, etc. And we are going to put it in the same position here. He would have spoken. He wouldn't have spoken. Would he have spoken? Wouldn't he have spoken? I'm thinking that if I change the I for he, or if I change the subject I with another subject, okay? No problem. There is not going to be any change. You are going to use, you can use I, you, he, she, it, we, you and they as a subject. And the combination would have does not change. You have to use it with confidence. Úsalo con confianza. Please don't use has. Don't say he would have spoken. Don't use peligro. Don't use he would have spoken. That doesn't exist in English. Eso no existe en inglés. Would have for he, for she, for it, that's okay. Now, let's continue with some examples. I'm going to give you some examples. If you had studied English, you would have passed the test. Si hubieras estudiado inglés, habrías pasado el examen. If you had learned English, si tú hubieras aprendido inglés, you would have gone to the United States. Habrías ido a los Estados Unidos. If you had watched television, CNN in English every day, you would have learned more English. Si hubieras visto la televisión, CNN en inglés, habrías aprendido inglés. Another example. If you had helped me, I would have given you 100 pesos. Si me hubieras ayudado, te habría dado 100 pesos. Don't forget that sometimes we use contractions. Wouldn't, wouldn't have, wouldn't have, wouldn't have, would have, would have, would have, would have. Okay? The word have here, sometimes in questions, when we speak very, very quickly, we use Would I have spoken? Would I have spoken? Would I have spoken? Well, the best thing is to use have, but sometimes Americans speak so quickly that they reduce English. It doesn't mean that it is incorrect. It is correct. But you have to learn these tips so that your English could be understood. You have to remember that Americans use a lot of contractions when they speak English. This video, I think, is wonderful. Enjoy it and try to learn more English. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye-bye.